So the sun sets on a really beautiful evening here in Dauphin Island, Alabama. The 7 o'clock Central Standard Time update was just released by the National Hurricane Center. The barometric pressure is a good indicative of it rapidly intensifying. The pressure dropped to 969 millibars, and that's usually indicative of a wind change about to happen. So the wind should continue to increase. The barometric pressure is still dropping. So what I'm going to do is just kind of tune out for the evening. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. I'll follow up with a couple of graphics. Thanks everybody for watching. Been a long day today, but tomorrow is going to be very interesting. So I'll get up early, daybreak. I just watched some of the recent radar loops and some of the projected landfalls of different squall lines and different areas of feeder bands, and it looks like around daybreak, maybe maybe a little bit earlier or maybe a little bit later, that we're going to start feeling tropical storm force winds around here. So I want to be rested and prepared for that. Long day tomorrow, get everything charged up and ready to go. Just the lay of the land. This is my backyard in that direction where you see that drilling platform in the distance. I don't know if you can see it. Zoom in a little bit. There you can see it. That's the center of Mobile Bay. And on the other side of the Mobile Bay is Baldwin County, Alabama. So Gulf Shores, etc. To my right, as I pan slowly to my right so I don't get you dizzy, just over that tree line is the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm right on a barrier island off the coast of Alabama. If I come back to my left and go through this little alley, that is Mississippi. As the crow flies, Mississippi is not very far away. Again, pardon these wires left over from the construction of Hurricane Sally. But anyway, tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day. High tide is this morning, this upcoming morning at I think around 3 or 3:30 a.m. give or take. Daybreak's about 5:30. I'll get up before daybreak and see if we already have some water pushing on to the yard. So we'll see how the storm surge goes. But again, 4 to 7 feet right here throughout tomorrow. I don't think it will be as bad as it will be Monday morning. I think Monday morning we're going to have a lot more water in the yard, but we'll see. I may be wrong, right? But anyway, let's look at a few things just to kind of phase out tracking it. You know, it's always fun tracking these. It's a lot of work that goes into the computer and you know, putting your best guess together. But that's the work. The easier part is getting out and getting in the weather and hopefully getting some good film. But nonetheless, stay safe, and I'll tune out from the science aspect of these videos and give my brain a rest. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot, you guys making comments. It's a fun thing for me to do, and it's even more fun to communicate with all of you. So anyway, I'll cut out to a couple things and then end this. So this is a nice loop here of the 3D view of this storm currently. What a sight to behold here. You can start to see these really outer feeder bands are really starting to make their way onto the tip or the Grand Isle area, the mouth of the Mississippi River. Now, it's not in this part of the storm where your tropical force winds are going to be. I know looking at it, you're like, oh, you know, it's fixing to get really bad. It is going to get that way. But this first part of the storm doesn't generally pack those tropical storm force winds. It's generally in here and this kind of secondary layer per se, but generally about 125 miles outside of the center is where you will get those tropical storm and hurricane force winds. If you look where we are over here to the right, and I'll kind of draw a straight red line where we are. We have Ryan Mason, that's over here in like Ocean Springs, and Mike Etter over here in Pascagoula. I have my aunt over here and just outside of New Orleans. But you can see the width of this storm. I mean, it's huge. It's very, very, very big. So as this storm continues to move to the northwest, it did wobble a bit more towards the northwest, but seems to have gone back on its merry way to the north and west. So it seems like that hurricane center track that's been since really since day one, with a little bit of movement to the east. It looks to be the target area. Whether it's there again or whether it's 50 miles to the right, it doesn't matter at this point. Anywhere, in my opinion, as well as obviously others. I think you're going to see a really tough go of it from, say, the Mobile Bay. Whoops, sorry about that. Say from the Mobile Bay. If you could draw like a semicircle out across, I think from the Mobile Bay, Dauphin Island, coastal Mississippi, into Louisiana, New Orleans, blah, blah, blah. How am I missing the town? That Baton Rouge. I was thinking LSU. But Baton Rouge from that area is really going to get a rough go of it. But really a sight to see. Super sizable storm. So it's going to be a rough go tomorrow and a very interesting day of filming for sure. Guys and gals, it's been incredibly fun tracking this storm. It seems like just 5 minutes ago the storm was just forming below Cuba. Time flies when you're enjoying your time. So again, it's fun for me to do so. This is another just look at the radar, infrared radar. Just an incredible sight to behold. But I'm going to crash. I'm going to let the brain rest for a little while. And as soon as I have some light outside to start filming, I will do so. Chances are I don't sleep very much during these things because I'm just anxious to, look at the next update, the next update, the next update. Again, it's kind of like, it's like I'm a fish and it hooks me, Anyway, it's just been an incredibly fun time at this point right now. We can get into, it may shift, 10 miles this way, or it may ebb 10 miles that way, or it may wobble, 15 miles that way. But at this point, there's no one in this coastal area, and especially inland, though, where the eye wall is going to go over. So, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, above that. I forget what towns are above there. Was it Hammond, Louisiana up there? I forget the towns that are just above that area of Louisiana. Shreveport, maybe. I think that's further up north. Leave it in comments. Anyway, by the way, tomorrow, if you have property or wanting to know about that, you can always message me here on Facebook at 5K Tennis, or Justin space Carla space Davis on Facebook. So Justin space Carla Carla space Davis Davis. And I'll be happy to, as long as I can get to wherever it is, check on your property, can send you a video, whatever. I do that quite often for people, so don't hesitate to ask. It'd be my pleasure. But I do think tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock a.m., for those of us here on the Dauphin Island, we'll start getting some solid rain, some squalls with some gusty wind. I think probably tomorrow around noon or maybe 2 in the afternoon. I think that Gulf Coast of Mississippi, where you are, Ryan, and us here and Dauphin Island, will probably get the worst of it between, I think, 2 and maybe midnight, maybe even later, because as this storm approaches the coast, it's supposed to slow down. And then it makes that kind of turn. And so, that kind of takes time away from it getting out of here because it's turning. So when it's turning, it's not going in a straight line, so it's hanging around a little bit longer. Plus, it slows down. So there's going to be a really big rain event tomorrow. It can be just downright flooded in seconds. So be careful with that. I'm going to forecast somewhere around 6 to 8 inches of rain here in Dauphin Island. And obviously much, much more than that the closer to the east side of this storm that you get. Or that you get near. Anyway, to all of you guys out there that follow my tennis videos as well, we'll get that back up and running hopefully a Monday after the first day of the U.S. Open. For those of you that just watch weather, don't unsubscribe just because we do tennis videos. We have fun with them both and talk about the weather a lot sometimes, or a lot sometimes, if that made any sense. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, and I plan to stick it out until again, my phone breaks, the power is out, and then my battery finally dies, even though I do have a car charger, or there's no internet connection to download them. And that means cell phone and house. So I have a backup plan, but sometimes they both go, cell phone and the land, or the satellite, or whatever it's called. I'm an idiot with the computer stuff. But anyway, the house internet and the phone, if they both go, then I'm dead in the water. And I'll just compile a bunch of clips and then download them the following day. But Every storm's different. They all play out differently. Never really know what to expect, and that's what makes them so very interesting. Anyway, much love to you. I'll ramble all night. I will see you tomorrow, and it will be a long day tomorrow, and it should be an interesting day. Stay safe. Please subscribe. Don't take this storm lightly. It's a beast. Much love. Be kind, because everyone you meet's fighting a tough battle. Adios.